Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another video. In this one, we're going to be diving into my Thursday Night Football Week 14 Showdown slate breakdown. We have the Dallas Cowboys going to Chicago, playing in Soldier Field against this elite Bears offense, I guess is the only word I can think of to describe this Bears team. So we're going to jump right into this one, though. If you have not already, please do leave a like on this video. I greatly appreciate your support, as always. And if you do have any questions, comments, or concerns for me, whether it's Draftkings, FanDuel, Yahoo, any DFS site or season-long fantasy questions, please leave them in the comment section below. I'm happy to give y'all advice when I can. Now, starting off here, I do want to mention my cash approach real quick. I think in cash games, you pretty much have to plug in Ezekiel Elliott at captain. Be confident with that, and then plug in Dak right below. It's really not that challenging, I think, tonight to fit these guys in exactly how you want them. And I also don't really think that you're going to be able to get away from Amari Cooper tonight in cash games. I think he's going to be very high owned on a slate like this where there's really not a ton of studs to try to have to pay up for. If we want to come down here, maybe play a kicker or something like that, then we could go cheap with one of these guys like Blake Jarwin or something, maybe even Javon Wims here. We could play somebody like that and maybe get up to like Tariq Cohen. Something like that is what I plan on doing for cash. I think you need Zeke, Dak, and Cooper in your lineup, and I highly recommend playing Zeke in your captain slot in cash games. Now, over to tournaments where I can talk about what I'm interested in the most. I think a lot of people are going to be on Amari Cooper tonight, and I think that that's a pretty just assumption. I think Amari Cooper could easily burn Kyle Fuller. Whoever he's faced, he's matchup proof. Amari Cooper can have that 40-point ceiling game any game. I don't care if it's Stephon Gilmore or not. The weather had a big part to do with him not getting a catch that game. Not taking anything away from Stephon Gilmore, but regardless, I think Amari Cooper could have a ceiling game any week. If he sees 11 targets against Kyle Fuller tonight, he will put up a lot of fantasy points. I can assure you that if he gets 11 targets tonight, he will do better than this. But if that's going to be one of the more popular GPP captains, yes, if he puts in a 40 to 45 point monster game, then it doesn't really matter how popular he is. It matters about getting everything right below that. I understand. But I don't know if I'm sold on Amari Cooper tonight. I like Amari Cooper. I just don't think that he is a must-play in your GPP lineups because of how popular he should be on a slate like this. We don't have ownership projections yet. I will be live streaming in about 3 hours, 2.5 hours, right around 3 o'clock Eastern. And in my live stream, we will have our ownership projections up. We'll be able to see where people are projected in terms of total ownership in the large field GPPs. And that's kind of going to determine some of my tournament lineups tonight because if Amari Cooper's going to be like 40 or 50% owned, I'm all in on an Amari Cooper fade tonight because Amari Cooper used to be the guy that was going to be kind of low owned because he's so boomer bust. But now that everybody's catching on to how to play these tournaments more effectively and give yourself a better chance at placing up at the top rather than just kind of in the middle of the cash area, a lot of people are going to be playing him. I expect him to be 40% owned, probably closer to like 15 to 20% at captain in like the main GPP, the $10 entry one that we have on the screen. $250K to first. He'll probably be 15% owned at captain, I would think, in a slate like this or in a contest like this. So that's just at captain. Again, I think he's going to be probably 40 to 50% owned in total, and I'm okay with fading him. It makes a lot of sense for me to get off of him here and maybe pay up for a lot of these other top guys here. Maybe get Zeke and Dak in our flex. I'm not in love with Allen Robinson either. I think we could get away from both wide receiver ones on this slate. I know if we play Dak in the flex, it's a lot of people are going to want to play one of his pass catchers. I get it. We can get to that in a second. But over at captain, I'm okay with going cheap. I don't think you have to get super weird. I think we could go with somebody like Anthony Miller with Taylor Gabriel still out. Anthony Miller had a great day on Turkey Day, and he's kind of a check down sort of passer. And we saw this this Cowboys team get lit up by Cole Beasley. Obviously, that was a revenge narrative. I get it. But if he sees 9, 10, 11, 13 targets, I mean, if he gets any sort of volume like that in this matchup, he should have an absolute monster game, and he's really not that expensive. So I definitely like Anthony Miller quite a bit. I think I'm going to prefer him in flex, but regardless, I think he does make a viable captain in GPPs tonight because if he does see the volume he saw against Detroit on Turkey Day, he makes a lot of sense for me, and he could be one of the best values, if not the best value to have in captain. That way you can afford a lot of other studs. I definitely like Anthony Miller quite a bit, and I think GameScript is going to favor Anthony Miller. I think GameScript is going to favor Tariq Cohen. I also think GameScript is going to favor Javon Wims, team preseason. Javon Wims, I liked him a lot on Turkey Day because he was so cheap. He did get a little bit of volume with 6 targets. I'm okay with playing him in tournament lineups. Obviously not a cash play tonight, but he does make sense to me. And if we do end up playing him here, we're definitely going to want to play Trubisky. I mean, I don't know if you'd want to do this or not. This is kind of balls to the wall, but you could go with somebody like Javon Wims at captain, and hopefully, he scores, gets 5 catches and 50 yards. If he crushes his value and you're able to pay up for all these other studs around him, it's really going to open things up for you. You could go with somebody like Tariq Cohen here. Getting a lot of exposure to this Bears team is a very interesting approach tonight because a lot of people are going to just instantly plug in Dak, Zeke, and Amari. That's going to be instant, and then some people are going to say, like, let me get off Amari, or let me get off Zeke, or let me get off Dak, and let me plug in Gallup, let me plug in Randall Cobb, Jason Witten, these other Dallas Cowboys guys. It makes a lot of sense to me to try and attack a little bit more of the Chicago aspect to differentiate yourself from the field. I definitely think that there's a very low game total on this. I think it's like 43.5 right now. And if that's what we're expecting. We're only expecting a few touchdowns probably from both sides, 3 max from either side. I'm definitely okay with trying to capture all the touchdowns, whether it's Zeke gets 2, Trubisky and Dak both throw 1, and whoever gets the touchdowns. If we capture all the touchdowns in this game in the lineup, we're going to be set. We could go with Anthony Miller at captain here. Maybe drop down, play somebody like Blake Jarwin, who's always respecting our cash on these showdown slates. But we also have this guy right here, Jesper Horsted. He's going to be the starting tight end tonight, it looks like, and he did get a touchdown last week. Obviously, you can't rely on touchdowns. If a guy gets 1 target and it just happens to be a touchdown, that is a very lucky play. That's a very lucky scenario. We want to target the volume. That's why we like Anthony Miller a lot tonight, who's gotten 9, 13, and 11 targets over the last 3 games. I definitely like Anthony Miller. He's probably my favorite GPP play tonight. If we were to play him at captain, we have both QBs in here. We have Zeke in here. We have $43.50 remaining average salary. We could do a few different things here. We might be able to get Tariq Cohen and then the tight end Jesper Horst that I just mentioned. We could get Randall Cobb, and we get up to Blake Jarwin then, something like that. I'm okay with a few different things here. Or you could just play more balanced. You could play this a lot more balanced. You could go with maybe the Bears D. The Bears D is just they've been kind of a letdown this year in all honesty, especially over the past few weeks. Or past a lot of weeks. They didn't start that hot. They had a couple good games against Washington and Minnesota, but they just don't look the same without Akeem Hicks on the field, and I think that's I don't know what the exact numbers are since Akeem Hicks has been off the field, but it's just a different defense. So I'm definitely a little bit concerned with that, but I'm okay with playing them or this Cowboys defense as well. If we were to play the Cowboys defense, we can still play Brett Maher, we can play Eddie Pinheiro, Javon Wims. I'm okay with leaving salary on the table as always on these showdown slates. If we were just to play Wims here, we have Trubisky, we have 2 of his targets. We don't have Allen Robinson. This Cowboys team has been very, very solid at defending opposing wide receiver ones. That is a fact. That is unarguable. They have been very solid at defending opposing wide receiver ones, but Allen Robinson just made Darius Slay look like his light work. Allen Robinson is virtually matchup proof after what I saw from him on Thanksgiving. So is Amari Cooper, and Amari Cooper doesn't have a big scary matchup. Forget the big red 7, I get it. If he's lining up with Kyle Fuller at all tonight, he should burn Kyle Fuller. These are 2 risks that we're taking. We have matchup-proof Allen Robinson, and I think he's matchup-proof after what we saw last week, but he has been pretty boomer bust so far this year. He has big weeks and he has down weeks. He was consistent for a little while, and then dud, solid, dud, and then a couple solids. But if he duds tonight and Amari Cooper duds tonight and we don't have either one of them and we invest our salary elsewhere, it's going to pay off big time for us, especially if Allen Robinson duds in this lineup here where we have Wims and Miller and captain. It makes way too much sense to me, and we're leaving a little bit of salary on the table. Maybe get off the Cowboys defense here. We could go we could go back down to the Bears defense. We could do a few different things here. So that's kind of what I'm looking for tonight. And then if you guys did not come out to the live stream yesterday, it was a relatively short one. They have been kind of short lately. I'm still getting over an illness, and my girlfriend is sick just like I am now. So we've been trying to work around perfect schedules whenever it's if she's home doing lunch, things like that. But we are going to be live streaming for a little bit longer today, talking about NBA tonight, and we're also going to be talking about this showdown way more in depth than this video. So make sure you guys come out. The link is in the description below to my Twitch TV channel. Go over there, drop a follow. You'll be notified when I go live. The streams have been absolutely awesome lately. Everybody that's come out has absolutely loved it. They get their questions answered immediately, and they can ask me 25 questions without feeling like they're just blowing up my inbox on Twitter. So I hope to see you guys out there. Again, I'll be live in just about 2 hours, probably around 2:45, 3 o'clock Eastern. I hope to see you guys there. It's going to be an amazing showdown tonight, and we're going to crush it. So I hope to see you guys over at the live stream, and good luck tonight.